Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Stoneblock 2. It's your boy Z. I'm here again to do some more Minecrafting with you in our giant stone dome. So guys, as you can see, I've started laying some solid groundwork here on the front. I've got some of the flooring in. Laboratory blocks are actually kind of expensive to make. We still have some resources going for it, so I can do it. It's not gonna stop me, but yeah, they are kind of expensive. I'm toying around with some designs over there related to what's gonna be in the entranceway. But one thing that I want to solve pretty quick, so that way I know what to expect and can know what to do with all of these central areas, is how we're going to transition between the different areas. Because I want it to be something that we can just do, but I don't want to leave this open. I kind of toyed with the idea of maybe making some kind of a glass arch. But arches are kind of what I want to do out here, and I don't want to repeat that inside necessarily. Still on the table, but just not 100%. But I just found out that Mouse's Doors is in the pack. I had not known that before, and if you've never messed with it before, this is an absolutely fantastic mod because it allows you to basically just create whatever kind of door you want. And it does come with several stock options, which are all crazy in and of themselves, including a saloon door, which is just one of my favorites, if I'm being honest. Black curtains, which are fantastic for blocking out sight from mobs and things like that. Reinforced doors, garage doors. So I figure we're going to play around with that for a minute. And that'll fill some of the time that is me building stuff. So let's get cracking on it here. So the first thing that we're going to need really is to make the door factory. We can play around with some of the lone doors, but this is going to enable us to really do the custom stuff ourselves. So we're going to need, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 pieces of iron, 3 pieces of redstone. So let's grab that out. 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna put all of that in here. So we're gonna do this for the doors, if I can hold on to it for a second, and then we're going to need to make a piston. So that there, and then we need some cobblestone for cobble, so we can do this here, and then we need planks of some sort, which we have over here currently still. So we'll just grab out one of these logs and chop it down into planks, and then we're going to drop that across the top, and that will give us our piston. And is that it? Is that everything we need? Heck yeah, it is. Alright, let's slap this dude down, just here for now, I guess. So yeah, this thing right here, basically what you do is you make a door, and it lets you change the way that it moves. It's got all kinds of different options. How long it's open, how long before it auto closes, whether or not it's a double door, whether it will detect players, and then if it has redstone behavior, and then it has sounds, which I don't think, the unfortunate part here is that you can't hear the sound without actually making a door, but that's not a big deal. We can also make it out of various materials, and we can also install a code on it, so that way we could have to unlock it every time we do it. Since we're playing by ourselves, we're not going to mess with that necessarily, but yeah, so let's make a custom door here of some kind. Let's see. We want to be able to see through it, so that sounds a lot like glass, so let's grab out some of that. Right now our primary building blocks revolve around the laboratory blocks, the wood, and then also the temple blocks, so we need to stay away from those because we don't have too much of that going on inside of our area. So let's see, we did have a couple of weird off ones, right? Like the bit and the azure that I was looking at that we were not necessarily going to use, but the azure has got, like I said, a pretty good texture going for it, so let's see if we can mess with that a little bit. So materials, we'll do top is the glass, and then the frame material will be that, and then well, the bottom block material. Oh, let's go ahead and pull out that bit. actually, because this would probably make a pretty good frame type. Let's check into that and see how that would look. And then glass for the top block, and then we'll create it. Yeah? Yeah? No? Okay. Okay, so movement. And we can just leave that there and it'll totally make it? Okay, hopefully. So, movement type. We will have it just sliding, maybe? That's sort of higher tech than what I'm going for in the build here. So maybe vanishing? Magic's not also the thing, but hey, this is in ticks, I'm pretty sure, so we want to do that for at least like a solid 30. That gives us about a couple seconds to get through it. Auto close delay 0. Player detection on. Redstone behavior sound is going to be glass. Can we create it now? Okay, cool. Oh, that looks pretty good, actually. So let's set this puppy down, and then, yeah, if we walk up to it, it just vanishes. And that's how long it takes to open. Auto closing should have been pretty instant. But yeah, with that Tinker's Glass, it's almost like there's just nothing there, so we might need to actually make something to be a little bit different there. But it is nice that it just auto-detects us, and then we can shut it. So let's grab that back up, and we'll put it in here, and then we can modify it, right? So instead of create, it's modify. Then we'll put it there. That's the door to modify. And then let's see if we can mess with this a little bit. So the opening time is a little bit long, so we'll go ahead and drop it down to 20. Auto close delay, we'll set that to 20 as well. And then instead of doing vanishing, let's do a vault. And then sound type, big door. Modify door. Okay, so let's check this out. No, that's definitely not what we want right there. So let's go ahead and put this back in door to modify. And then let's check it out. Okay, so not vault. That's definitely not what we're wanting. How about, can we double rotate? What is just the double rotate, I guess? Big door, fence gate. Let's check it out. Okay. Okay, so that's what rotating is. And then it kind of fades into the wall, which I don't like. I'd like it if it would stay open, but I guess that's to prevent people from losing themselves, or maybe blocking the entranceway. And of course we could do 2 of these. Like if I did this exact same thing again inside of the door factory, we could actually have 2 of them that would come out of the sides. Yeah? But then on top of all this custom stuff, which I mean, like, obviously this looks fantastic, there are just a couple of them in here that would maybe suit our purposes. Let's check it out here. So not that, not that. I want to check out this garage door, actually, because I'm really not sure how this one looks. I've never done this one before. So let's grab ourselves out, not that one, a little bit more wood. Drop down some plankage, and then see, can we make this with the Tinker's Glass? It's kind of restrictive what we can use, honestly. Use that clear glass for, so no, we couldn't. So I'm going to come up here and grab some of our normal glass, and then drop this in there, and then boom, we got ourselves a garage door. Let's check this out and see what it looks like. Oh, is it just, does it not actually open, or does it require something else to open? Or maybe there has to be like more of them? I'm not sure. Because obviously that doesn't seem to do anything, and also it's really tiny. I kind of expected it to be huge, if I'm honest, because like all of these doors over here are super duper big. So I just kind of expected that one that was, I guess it's just next to that category, but was in that category would be kind of the same thing where it's like actually a relatively large size door. Because like, I mean, say if we just made this one, so this is dark oak doors. We need 4 of them, so we need a couple more planks. Let me just show you what I'm talking about here. We'll pop this puppy in there, and then craft doors twice, and then do that. Yeah, if I show you, this one's crazy, right? It's like, I have to do it in here because this is where the light is, but bam, look at how huge that is. If we were building on even numbers, oh, actually, that's odd, that's 3. But yeah, it opens just like any other door, and then you can close it just like any other door. These might actually be a better solution for us, especially like, I mean, for instance, in here in the library, where like, I mean, we could just bring the walls in or have some kind of a side texture, because that already fits with the other decor, obviously, since it's the wood type that we're using. Can we modify these? No. No, we cannot. We can only modify the custom ones. So yeah, I'm going to obviously play around with this a little bit more. I haven't quite made any decisions there, but I'm going to need to quickly because we're going to need to see what's going on here. So yeah, while I'm thinking about that, I'm going to get cracking back on this this building, and then we'll take a look together at that in a minute. Alright folks, so a little bit of an update here. I've got the entire floor plan, like the line that the walls are going to be, is all laid out. You can see it all around us here. A couple of things is that like I moved the farm back a little bit and I put this circle around it because I really want the farm area to be like its own thing that's not necessarily connected to the rest of the base. Because I think I want to go, there's a couple of themes I have in mind, and we'll do that in another episode, but these caution blocks, the yellow and black, I'm using that to denote something that is temporary. Like, I just put that there to seal it off in my mind, so I'm not thinking about it. Same thing with over here. I really want to do something in the central area of the factory workspace, but I'm just really not exactly sure what it is, so I just put that in there to fill the space for now. I split out the storage drawer arrays, so that way I could denote like this came from something, this came from something, and I moved the plant one over here, and I put it along one of the walls too, so that way it's got a space as well. And then I thought that for the next like kind of in between, we check out this, and oh crap, man, we have a lot of these loot crates. We got to do something about that, right? And I thought about that a little bit. So we're just going to grab like, say, 12 of them. We're going to come over here and look at this super basic setup that I've got going. So storage crate into a loot crate storage from FTB quests into a loot crate opener, same mod, and then back into a storage crate. Now, the kind of thing about these I don't like is that there's no interface. You can't look at it, but if you could see here in the lower left-hand corner, when I click on it, it tells me how many crates are stored. So there's a fresh one, 0, all zeros. Here, there's nothing. You got no interface except for down below it says stored items, 0. And then over here, I've got a storage crate for output. So if I should, say, drop one of these in there, it'll get moved over. That says that, but then it moves here, and this says stored item 0 because it's probably already opened it and then threw it here, which it did, yeah. So if we take, say, you know, the rest of these 11, slowly this gets filled up and then moved out. Slowly this is stored, and it doesn't tell you what the items are at all. It just tells you how many it's got stored, and then we can come here and see everything that it opened. So this is going to be our solution, not necessarily this basically set up, but really probably this basically set up. We're going to put the loot crates in here. Slowly they'll get moved over to there, to there, to there, and then all of these items will let us know kind of in a general sense another storage array that we're going to need, minus the items that maybe we go ahead and void. Like, I don't need to have a storage drawer specifically for ender orb translocators. You really only need the one, and that's only if you're going to use it, which I'm not. So I don't even need the one that I've already got, so I've just been burning them. Same thing with the juicer. You really only need one. The record discs, I kept a certain amount of them, and then after I have that amount, I don't care anymore. So I'm probably going to avoid those as well. And then same thing with the baits. I'm going to keep a basic amount of them, then get rid of them. So yeah, in between kind of areas when I'm feeling like I need to stop for a second, I'm going to come over here, throw some crates in, and then see what it gives me, and then try to fill up another storage drawer thing that I'm going to put together. Alright, so now that that's all out of the way, I'm going to get back to building. We'll see you in a couple more minutes. Woo! Alright, so it's been a bit of time. I hit kind of a block, but we're going to go ahead and do another update here. So this is how I set it up, basically, and I've got here a basic item filter with all of the different ones, except for the legendary ones. Now this doesn't work at all. I have it here just really for my own sanity, I guess, but what you really need is an advanced item filter, and I put it on the output instead of the input. Basically, it's just sending all the loot crates over, again, except the legendary ones. The legendary ones I wanted to do myself, so I left them in here. You can see we're up to 21 with all of the mob farm stuff running pretty non-stop. I've added a little bit of detail. I'm not done. I needed something here just for my own sanity's sake. Second thing, so I changed out the block. When I was trying to sit there and build with those, trotted cobble and brick blocks that we were looking at before, even though there is variety between the two textures, I really felt like it was the same thing. And when I tried to build an actual wall out of it, it just looked like we were in a cave again, which was the whole point of tearing it all down, is so that we could mix it up. So I changed it out for something that's a little bit cleaner, but still has that connected texture look. Because again, what I'm shooting for is something brand new that we are building. This is not a structure that's been here forever. This is us taking our resources and putting it into a base for us to live in. So I thought something with a nice clean line is very in tune with that. Third thing, so you remember how I was really confuzzled about the garage doors? Well, I figured it out. A, you have to have some kind of a redstone signal to make it work, and B, it works so much cooler if you have more than one of them. So here's how it works. Just like a garage door in real life. It literally rolls up on itself, which is so super duper cool. I'm thinking I might want to use these as our main doors, but I'm not super 100% sure on it. I added in some glass in a couple of areas. Now these are areas that I'm planning on either not expanding into, or areas that we'll expand into and do something that's outside the base, so that way we can see it. So of course I've got a couple that are overlooking the farm, and then I've got a couple on this side in this big empty space. The long library is going to be its own structure. It's not going to have any views of the outside world, because when we come in here, it's just for storage or for messing around with our storage. So yeah, having done all that, I'm now going to try to build something around the glass and see how I feel about it, and then we'll come back and take another shot at looking at this. So, before I show you this, I want you to know that I appreciate all the input that you gave in the previous episodes, but I went a completely different direction with it. So we're going to do a little bit of a soft tour here, and we definitely have some detail work that we still need to do, but hey, anyways, so here we go. This is what the base looks like now. So you can see this is like a whole other block. This is a factory block that you can get from Chisel. Factory blocks are cheap. They are 4 iron and 4 stone, and each craft of that makes you 32 of the blocks. Now, I kind of like this one, the sturdy variant, and the reason I like it is because, number one, it looks industrial. It looks like it was made clean, fresh by us. And also, because it's got this kind of like almost glass texture for all of the middle bits that are not like the obvious steel frames, it kind of gives a sense of depth, right? Maybe that's just me, but I feel like it gives a sense of depth because it looks like there is something behind a glass outer casing. That's how it looks to me, which I think is fantastic. You can see that I extended the garage door a good solid bit. It's huge now, but if you come in, you flick the switch, and then you can see it rotate back down. Obviously, when you're out, you just leave it up because you're going to be coming back home to it. But then when you get here, you put it down and you're safe inside of your base. Nothing can get into here. Now, I will say this about it. If you put a lot of garage doors together, you start to get some graphical issues once you get close enough to it. You can see there it just totally disappeared. If I'm over here and look a certain direction, it comes back, but then I can kind of make it piecemeal out. And then if I flick the lever, you can see it comes in while it's moving and then locks in place. And then same thing if I flick it down, it'll move down altogether just like it's supposed to. And it's there. Even if you can't see it, I can't move forward. And you can see the Nuela up in the top middle. It says garage door. So I mean, like, it's there. It's just it disappears to the eye. So that's kind of weird. Okay, so internal walls not finished. This we're going to come back to because I want there to be a difference between walls that are on the outside, which is this stuff right here, and walls that are on the inside, which are going to be more decorative, whatever the correct version of that word is, in nature. So I want to do a little bit more with these than just put up some more of the steel walls that are our outer casing that are keeping us safe. I put in marble pillars, Greek capped plain pillars, because I kind of like the cap that they've got there. And then all of the other designs, they had the actual pillar shapes in weird different locations, so I just went with the plain one because I think it looks the best. And again, I either want to move this back or maybe have like a really rockin' top to it. Some of the stuff that I saw for libraries when I was looking at materials online had a kind of like arched roof, and so that's sort of what I went for here. And I want to extend this out and do a little bit more with it. But I mean, like, this is a good start. The ceiling is another day. That's another project, because I'm already like way over time on everything that I'm trying to do. So yeah, there's that. I changed this over because there's like this weird little nook where like there's no drawers here. And it's not really a big space, so it's not usable for too terribly much. But yeah, I kind of turned it into a little bedroom for us. And then also I want to point out that there is a difference in my build because the outer walls, anything that has a window that goes to the outside, is this ornate steel. And for me, that is steel reinforced windows. Like, that's kind of how we're going with it. So this is the stuff that's like harder for things to get through if something was going to get through it. And then also this is the internal windows, which are just like framed in steel. It's just to hold them in place for the glass to sit there. And gosh, I really wish that any of the chisel glass had pane variants, but they don't. So I have to use the full flat blocks, which wasn't really my intention, but I do like the look of it, so I went ahead with it. And then, of course, from here, we can keep an eye on this little bit of the outside, and then also we can keep an eye on what's going on in our workshop area. This is, it's just kind of simulating a giant computer screen, I guess. This is a console block. Behind there is a fuzzy screen block, and then I got Vect at the top to cap it off. And then the super clear Tinker's Construct glass here to kind of act as the screen for it. Now, eventually, I want to tear this out because at some point in the future, we're going to get into applied energistics, which is a mod that basically lets you store things as though they were data on a computer. And the way that you do anything with that mod is you access terminals and then use them to go and look at all of the stuff that you have available to you. And so that's kind of the plan here, is that eventually this big computer screen that we have here is going to be where we interact with our applied energistics stuff. So yeah, this is just kind of a placeholder, really. Um, and then, of course, over here, I've still got the center cap that I don't know what to do with. Internal walls still need to be done. Ceiling still needs to be done. Um, I changed the tree around a little bit so that all of the machines were hidden. Redid the branch, and then also moved stuff around a little bit. I want to push the glass in one more layer so that I have the full dark oak wood planks as available space. I just haven't done that part of it yet because I really wanted to get this out because I'm running low on real world time. This was like the wall the machines were built into, but you can see I floored it off, made another one, and then I put a space here, and that my intention is really to push these machines like to the sides. So this will be sort of like our manual processing area where any machines that we have to build and interact with, I'm really just going to put up in here until we get to the really big stuff, and then we'll worry about making an area for that later. But basically anything that operates just like this, where it's like machine and then it pushes into a storage crate, is just going to be along this wall with the storage crates either on the end or directly above them, depending on how I feel about it. But I haven't moved them around yet. Again, real life time. So yeah, that's the base tour. I do want to do something different with the farm area out there. I know that I said that before. Basically, I just want to have it its own separate structure. And then, like, this will eventually be, like, sort of an airlocky type thing that goes over to it. So that way it's connected but disconnected at the same time. Because I want to do it in a little bit of a different style, I think, basically. So yeah, internal walls, decorations. If you've got ideas, please leave them in the comments section and I'll take a look and see what I can do. Obviously, the build style changed a great deal from what I originally proposed. Like, I didn't use a single one of the blocks that I actually put up as something that was available. So I hope that, no one feels really betrayed by that. But if you have some other suggestions or if you think that we could work some of those blocks in somewhere, definitely tell me down below. But guys, that's got to be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed watching me like struggle and faff around and like go and do stuff and then come back and then do other stuff and then come back. Um, and if you did, please leave a like on the video. If you didn't, tell me what I need to do better in the future. Start a conversation down in the comments. And then also, please, if you're brand new, if you've never done this before, never seen me, and want to see more, subscribe. I mean, like, there's a button down there. You could totally do that. And also, there's a notification button, so that way you can see every time I upload something new, just automatically. But yeah, guys, I will see you in the next episode. Ciao. Have a great day. Auf Wiedersehen. All the goodbyes. Later.